Good morning. It is day one of the EuroPro. I am teeing off at 1:30, which is in about 3 hours time. So I'm going to get ready fully, get my bag packed, and then head off. I think first of all to the practice range. I'm just going to spend a little bit of time there, just loosening up, just taking my time, being really chilled and really relaxed about everything today. Looking at the early scores going out, there's some good scores already on their way. There was one chap who was already 3 under through 3 holes. So that would indicate that the course maybe giving up some birdies. And that was on the first 3 holes as well, which aren't massively tough, but they're not massively easy either. So I'm looking forward to getting out there. To be honest, I'm looking forward to playing. That is the bottom line of it. I just cannot wait to play. Quite a few guys have messaged me as well, saying that they're going to come and watch. So I'm excited for that. During the round, I'm not going to film a great deal. Just simply because I want to concentrate on the game, and I don't know how my playing partners would react if I start pulling the camera around and say, "No, look, here we are at Hawkstone." So I'm not going to film that much, but I'll be doing stuff on my pre-round prep, just showing you guys what I'm doing, and then having the recap afterwards as well. Sound sensible? I think it sounds eminently sensible. You made the vlog.
This is there. Yeah.
Right guys, I've just come off the course and I don't really know how to feel about today, if I'm being honest with you. I shot 2 over, which if you'd have said to me, first round the EuroPro, 2 over on the first round, would you take it? Generally speaking, a couple of weeks ago I would have said yes, because I didn't know where my game was, and especially last week when I was hitting the ball absolutely everywhere in practice, I was like, oh god, this could be a bit messy. But you know what? I've struck the ball today, I think, as well as I can remember striking it. I had very good control over the ball, which is quite exciting in some ways, but the most disappointing thing was I hardly hold any putts. Now, if you think about the ratio to practice I've been doing recently, obviously a lot more putting than long game. Well, pretty much all chipping and putting rather than long game. So that's a little bit frustrating. But there's even positives to take from that. Because with my putting, I think if you take out the first few holes, which I'll get onto in a moment, I actually started putting near the end a little bit better, but I just couldn't get the read of the greens. I was always on the high side of the borrow, and I was always over borrowing things. I was almost seeing breaks there that they weren't there, which I think's not great. You know, I wasn't giving myself the real chance of holding the birdie putts and converting some of the par putts. On a different day, if I'd have holed 20% more on my putts today, I'd have been under par quite easily. I struck the ball so well. Let me just try and pull up some stats. So I hit 78% of fairways today, well 78.6. And you know what, the ones I missed weren't a million miles away. There was only one bad drive which went into the thick rough, which was a little bit of test out of the wrist, which seemed to hold up quite well. It's a tiny bit tender, but to be honest, I'm really happy with how it feels. I hardly felt any real jolts of pain out there, which is a good positive. But 78% of fairways is pretty good. 66% of greens in regulation, which was not too bad. I hit some very good approaches to some very short distances, but like I said, didn't really hold the putts. The only problem really was with my putting, if I can find it on here. So I had 32 putts. Now, I played the back 9 first, and I had 18 putts on the back 9, so my front 9 for today, which obviously is way too much. I mean, one of my goals, one of the quests for the Open Battle Boards, is to have, I think, 25 putts during a round, so I'm a long way off that at the moment. But it was weird, it was strange, because I just didn't feel confident on the greens, and in practice I have felt confident, and then when I got that little bit more confidence, I was then misreading. So it was a perfect storm to not really create the good putting display that I really wanted to have. I'm feeling a lot more positive about tomorrow because I think I've got a little bit more of the measure of the greens, but we will have to see. We will have to see how I get on. I started off with 2 bogeys on 10 and 11. I hit a decent drive off the first, a little bit left just into the light rough, but then I hit a terrible shot into the water with the second on a par 5. And then the next I missed quite a short putt for par as well, which is a par 3. Then I settled down a little bit, but you know what? It was so strange because so many people came down to watch. So I think there was probably about maybe 30, 40 people on the first, about 30 people, and I've never played in front of that many people before. And I just wanted to thank everyone who came down. I honestly played with such a smile on my face. It was fantastic to see that many people come down to support. Certainly to begin with, I was very, very nervous. What's the best way of describing it? Mentally, I didn't feel nervous, but physically, I had such a tight chest and I just couldn't seem to catch my breath. My mouth was dry, which I can't remember ever having, my mouth being dry. So, it's all that experience of learning to play in front of people, which, I need to do anyway. But thank you so, so much for coming down. And when I birdied my 4th hole, after hitting the pin with my second shot, I got a nice little round of applause, which I've never had before. I've never had a round of applause when I hold a shot. So that was awesome. That was absolutely amazing. And like I said, thank you so, so much everyone for coming down to support me. It meant so, so much. It really, really did. People coming from South Wales, from Leicester, from so many different places. And whatever happened today, that has just made my day. And it's made much more than that. So what I'm going to do tonight is edit this video, get it uploaded. I'm out early tomorrow, so I think 8:36, which I'm quite looking forward to. I just want to get out there and play again because I'm excited about the way I'm hitting it, and I just need to find that way of being able to loosen up a little bit to begin with, just relax and try and get those birdies rolling in early. It's a course which is birdieable. There's no doubt about it. If you get it going on this course, you can get a low number. With the rough the way it is, you can also have some bad scores, but I think generally, you can certainly get it going. Learn from my mistakes slightly. I went at a few sucker pins today, which I shouldn't have, ended up in a little bit of trouble, ended up with bogeys. And there was also a couple of times today where I wasn't feeling comfortable over the shot and I should have backed away, but I didn't. I just carried on, which is not the way to go. If you're feeling uncomfortable and you're over the ball and you think, you should back away, but then you say to yourself, just hit it, that's the point where you definitely need to move away, and I didn't do that enough. But I'm not placed in too bad of a position. I'm pretty much middle, lower end of the pack. If I get a good under par score tomorrow, I could be here for Friday. So I've got nothing to lose. I've got nothing to lose, and that is the attitude that I'm going to try and take in tomorrow. Nothing to lose, try and play as free as possible, and try and putt as free as possible as well. That's what I hope. Right guys, thank you so, so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Hopefully I can produce a really good score tomorrow as well. Be here for Friday. Let me know what you think. Like I said, 72 a couple of weeks ago, I would have been 2 over. I would have been delighted with 73. But you know what? Overall, it's not a bad start. It's not a bad start to return to competitive golf. Okay, let's get this edited, go to bed, up early in the morning.